Today I have a brand new method for creating a blind hem. It is easy and it is foolproof. Your blind hems are going to be so blind. You've never seen a hem this blind and invisible, I promise you. And how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to be using fusible thread. That's right. This also might be new to you. So what is fusible thread? Well, let's check it out. So basically, fusible thread is thread that melts. It's kind of like hot glue or heat and bond. Because it is so thin and fine, it lets you do nice, fine work. So basically, we're going to be sewing with it, and then we're going to be ironing, and then it's going to hold our fabric in place. It's basically going to glue one piece of fabric to the other piece of fabric. Because this thread is so fine, is it really going to hold together two pieces of fabric after we melt it together with the iron? Follow along to find out how this works. So I'm working on tailoring the skirt for myself, and I needed a little shorter. So today we are going to hem the skirt using the method with the fusible thread. The first thing we need to do is make our hem a little shorter. So don't forget to leave an extra inch so that way you have a hem to fold up under to sew down. Or I should say melt down. So I'm going to hem my skirt 3 inches. So I'm going to take 2 inches off the skirt, and that extra inch will get hemmed up under the skirt later. So I'm going to chalk this up before I cut it off. So I have my 2 inches chalked, and now I'm going to cut right along that chalk line. Now I'm going to cut along that chalk line through all of the layers. All done cutting. Now what you want to do is put your fusible thread on your bobbin. So just wind a bobbin like normal, but put the fusible thread on your bobbin. If you're enjoying this video so far, make sure you like and subscribe to Sew Anastasia. And if you're interested in learning how to sew more, make sure you check out my online sewing school. Links are down below. So you're going to wind up your bobbin just like you would your normal thread. Now that we have the bobbin wound, we're just going to put it in like you normally would. So however you normally put your bobbin in your sewing machine, just go ahead and insert it. For this technique, I'm going to be using the overcast stitch today because just about everyone has this on their sewing machine. You could also select a zigzag stitch, or you could also select an overlock stitch if your machine has it. But today, we're going to be using the overcast stitch. Now we're going to put the overcast stitch on the edge of our fabric here. This overcast stitch is also going to finish the edge of the fabric so that way it's not going to fray. So it's kind of like a 2-in-1 here. So make sure you have everything lined up on your machine for your overcast stitch. So it's going to be going over the edge of your fabric. Make sure the fabric is right side face up. This is so important because we want the bobbin thread to be on the wrong side of the fabric. So now we're just going to work our way all the way around the entire hem of the skirt. Still going to back stitch in the beginning. Back stitch at the end and cut. Now that we have the hem sewn, let's take a look at it. So you can see we have the regular thread on the outside, and then we have that white fusible thread here on the inside of the skirt. Now we need to fold the hem 1 inch up to the inside of the skirt and iron it down. And then that should be it. No further sewing. So I have the white thread here on the inside, which is the fusible thread. And so we're going to fold that up 1 inch. Make sure you use your seam gauge so you know exactly how much you're folding it up. And then grab your iron and let's fuse it down. Oh, it's sticking. Check that out. So now we're going to work our way all the way down the hem. Now we're all done. Let's take a look at the outside of the hem and the inside and see how this worked. So the inside of our skirt has that finished edge with the overcast stitch, and then the outside has no stitching at all, no little pinpricks that you see sometimes from a blind hem, and it's nice and secure. So I think that worked great. What an awesome sewing hack. We finished the edge and then we only had to iron it up once and then we were done. How quick was that? Now, of course, we're not using thread. We are using a fusible thread. So it's not going to be as strong over a lifetime of wears. You might need to add more fusible to it or sew it with some thread. But this is a great sewing hack when you're in a pinch. I also want to mention that you can put the fusible thread in a serger. You're going to put it in the lower looper and you're going to change your machine to a 3-thread serge. And then you're only going to get that fusible thread on the back of your garment. And then you can do the same thing that we just did, but you'll have a nice serged edge going around your project. But if you don't have a serger, you can totally use the overcast, the zigzag, or the overlock stitch on your regular sewing machine. So what do you think about fusible thread? Are you going to add it to your arsenal of sewing knowledge and use it on your projects? I would love to know what you thought about it. Leave it down below in the comments. Thanks so much for watching today. If you have any questions about this technique, also leave that down below in the comments and I'll get back with you as soon as I can. If you enjoyed this video today, make sure you like, subscribe, and give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when the new videos come out. And make sure you check out the Anastasia for online classes or sewinganastasia.com for in-person classes. You guys can totally come on into the design studio and take classes with me in person. And if you're not already a subscriber on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all of social, make sure you get connected so that way we can stay creative together. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.